welcome everybody. I want to thank everybody for coming out as we celebrate the work and accomplishments of the police department throughout 2018. So tonight we're going to celebrate the promotion of 2 sergeants, a detective. We're going to acknowledge some of our community partners that help us do the things that we do. And we're going to recognize other employees for exceptional performance throughout the year. So as we begin tonight, I want to recognize a couple special folks here tonight. So we have the town manager, Adam Lindsay, here, Councilmember Bobby Bunn, Councilmember Jason Thompson, and Councilman Bob Satterfield's back there. And our HR director and town clerk are also in the room tonight. And a good friend of mine, Pastor Matt Evans, will open things up for us here very shortly. So we'll go ahead and get started. So if everybody will please stand, we open tonight's ceremony with a prayer and then the Pledge of Allegiance. So Matt, if you'll come up and lead us in prayer.
Please bow your heads, please. Gracious and merciful God, who gave us an example for the love and service, who says that love knows no greater than for a person to lay down his life for another. We thank you for these and the law enforcement community and their family. For those that live out your grace, your service, your love for the community, we ask, Lord, that your hand might fall upon them always, that it may never depart from them, that you might give them your wisdom, your discernment, your courage, your protection, your favor, that it may always rest upon them as they serve this community, as they serve your kingdom. Bless them, we pray, in the name of Christ Jesus, our Savior and our Lord. Amen and amen.
All right, we started this last year, and we had a young man lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So Grayson and Grier Young are going to stand before the flag tonight and lead us all in the Pledge of Allegiance. So ladies, take it away. To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you so much, ladies. Great job. Y'all, everybody, please be seated. I've come to learn that's a coveted position every year, so maybe we'll take monetary bids next year for it. So we're somewhat waiting on one of our partners to come in here who should be hopefully be very tired, but as we're waiting on him to come in here, I will talk you through the swearing in of our new officers, and I'm going to use officers in quotation. So we're going to swear in 2 of our newest and furriest police officers. So Tyler, if you'll bring your partner up, and we'll wait for Isaiah to go get Eli. So you will probably get the gist of this, but Raven is very relaxed. Eli is not so much. So I told Isaiah he needed to make sure Eli was tired tonight. So, but we're gonna officially swear these 2 dogs in as members of the police department. So police canines are an essential element of law enforcement. These animals are not only a tool, but they help us do our jobs more effectively. Come on in. But they become much more family as any 2-legged officer is. These working dogs help our officers find narcotics, sometimes explosives, and other dangerous substances. They are vital in... Dave, can you help out? As I said, one's a little more excited than others. But they are vital in locating persons, whether it be criminals attempting to avoid capture or other missing persons. Their sense of smell is vastly superior to our own human scent capabilities, and they can get into places that we cannot. The other good thing the council really might like to hear is they work for free, so it really helps out when it comes to budget time. So, and if these guys had opposing thumbs, we might put a couple of us out to work, including myself. So these 2 dogs have been working for several months now, but we're going to bring them into the fold officially tonight. So let me describe who they are. So Eli, to my far left there, is a purebred Belgian Malinois male dog. He's born in Poland in October of 2016. He joined the department last June and is teamed with Officer Ruffin. Both are assigned to the patrol division. Eli is a certified police working dog trained in tracking, narcotics detection, and apprehension. He enjoys meeting new human friends and playing with his favorite toy, his yellow ball, which thankfully you brought. So Raven, to my immediate left here, oh, hey. Raven is a female dog. In fact, she's the department's first female dog. She is a purebred German Shepherd, born in Holland in December of 2016. She came to us in March of last year. She's assigned with Tyler McNeill here. They're both in the patrol division. Like I said, she's our first female police dog. And based on her demeanor, we may hire a couple more female dogs. She's also certified in tracking, narcotics detection, and apprehension. She enjoys working very hard and giving back to the community and taking a bite out of crime. And I think she had we're not sure if it was a bite or a near bite, but it was the middle of the night, and she's easily to get lost in the darkness. So we're not sure yet. But anyway, gentlemen, we will present you with your badges. We'd ask that you put them on around your dog's neck, and we have a treat that Meredith was able to get y'all. So we worked very hard at finding dogs that were very social animals that would be more than happy to be around people and that people could pet. And I think that these dogs are very much that way, and you can see how different their personalities are, but they're both very effective. And I just make a point to Eli, probably, this bag is not to be consumed tonight. I think it's spaced out over time. Thank you, guys and partners. We have a lot of fun with those dogs, and they are very productive. And in fact, on Raven's first week on the job, she recovered $50,000 of drug money that was being shipped through the mail. So she paid for every one of our dogs in their first week of work. So because the department gets a lot of that money back. So great to have them on board, and very happy that we have the ability to have that asset for us. So I'm going to ask Captain Coley to come up here and give our civilian partners their awards.
It's a great honor to be able to present the Civilian Service Awards. Tonight we have 3 recipients of this award. Our first recipient is the American Pride Xpress Carwash. The American Pride is a great partner to the department. In early 2018, business owners Courtney and Paul Bell offered to give at no cost free unlimited car washes for every marked car in our fleet. Since then, they have continued to accept new marked cars into the program. This is an exceptional and generous offer, and something that we're not expected to do. Their generosity helps maintain a professional appearance for the portion of our fleet that it gets the most recognition. Many of us appreciate them so much for doing this that we pay for monthly memberships on our unmarked vehicles. I can't think of few businesses so willingly give so much out of the kindness of their hearts. The American Pride Car Wash has a great name and a tremendous community spirit. For that reason, they are awarded the Civilian Service Award. The second recipient is the La Cocina. As a business, La Cocina is an exceptional partner in the community. Their business model lends themselves well to supporting community efforts throughout the town. La Cocina has many locations in the region, but their Clayton store is tremendous in its approach to helping others. In 2018, La Cocina donated money to help the police department fund Christmas with a Cop. They even directly funded our first ever canine cards that canine officers give out to the kids in our community. They are very welcoming to officers. When they eat there, their service is first rate and they are responsive to officers' hectic schedules when eating on duty. They are involved with the Chamber of Commerce and contribute greatly to the town. Many restaurants operate well and many people like eating there, but it is the exception where a restaurant gives back so much to the community. For these reasons, the La Cocina Restaurant is deserving of the Civilian Service Award. The third recipient is Carlos Batista. We all know as CJ. Carlos is a local business owner who has volunteered his services and time to the Clayton Police Department and the community. On May 25, 2018, Carlos brought and operated his limo golf cart and assisted the department during his annual Special Olympics torch run. In October, he brought a large grill and cooked a considerable amount of food to feed the community during the annual Riverwood Night Out event. On December the 1st of 2018, he again participated in the department's first ever Christmas with a Cop. He provided a party bus for the children to ride in to and from Walmart. He assisted us with gathering the purchased merchandise, and he paid employees to come in and help us at his own expense. And while not in the town of Clayton, just as another example of his community service, Carlos spent several weekends at the North Carolina coast cooking food and feeding people who lost their homes to Hurricane Florence. Carlos, you are a true community partner and very much deserving of the Civilian Service Award.
We're going to award the next 5 individuals this unit commendation. So this is an award that goes out to a group for a particular activity. Your notes.
Yeah, we don't need this. It is my honor and pleasure to call these individuals up for this award. Lieutenant Russell Flint, please step forward. Sergeant Brian Temple, Officer Scott Holshoe, Officer Erick Martinez, and Officer Jonathan Guyder. If you'll please step up here. This award is to recognize them for the unit commendation. On August the 5th, 2018, at approximately 11:54 p.m., the folks standing in front of you demonstrated a high, credible public service during a single incident and performed their duties in an exemplary manner. Officer Martinez and Guyder were in the parking lot of the police department discussing work late night when they heard a loud noise coming from downtown around the Main Street area near Main Street Jewelers. The loud noise was followed by a loud audible alarm. The officers responded to the area and began a business-by-business foot patrol check in the downtown area. They initially saw no signs of forced entry into any business, and lesser officers might have just called it a night and went back in service. Yet they stayed on foot in the area and soon heard glass breaking further down Main Street and a white male running from the sound of the breaking glass. The officers immediately gave chase while requesting other officers to assist by establishing a perimeter and cordoning off the area. While getting in position, Sergeant Temple saw a person matching the suspect's description running along the railroad tracks. Officer Holshoe set in position and diverted the suspect from escaping near his location. Officer Guyder heard a noise and looked to see the suspect scaling a fence behind a local business. Officer Guyder illuminated the suspect with his flashlight and announced his presence. The suspect immediately let go of the fence and ran behind the businesses. Lieutenant Flint, Sergeant Temple, and Officer Holshoe soon arrived, found the suspect behind another downtown business, and took him into custody without incident. A career criminal and drug addict was caught in the act by observant officers that night who were committed to providing exceptional service to the business and the community. In all, the suspect broke into 2 businesses, a vehicle in downtown Clayton. With his arrest, however, detectives from our department, Benson PD, Johnson County Sheriff's Department, Dunn PD, were able to close several unsolved cases. Their teamwork and coordinated efforts were instrumental in capturing a burglary suspect who was wanted on several outstanding warrants from Georgia and Florida. They're no longer A Squad, but at the time, A Squad was a credit to the department, the town of Clayton, and the community. Very well done, guys.
All right, thank Captain Gerrell. So where unit commendation is usually for an individual event, we are going to transition into meritorious service. So this will be awards that are given for year-long service or for something more exceptional. So Captain Herring, if you'll come up here and present the meritorious service awards. I got it.
Sergeant Keith Garner, will you come forward, please? Meredith Mumford, come around, please, and retired Sergeant Andy Jernigan. Since being moved into the training role, Sergeant Garner has managed to schedule all the in-house training as well as outsourcing other training to fit the department's needs. He developed our weapon-mounted light lesson plan and ensured every sworn officer was properly trained in its use. He oversees all weapons inspections and maintains an accurate accountability. He supervises all department general and specialized instructors to ensure department personnel are adequately trained. He has increased department range time and has focused his energy at teaching good weapon handling skills over marksmanship. Sergeant Garner frequently coordinates with the Johnson Community College, Wilson Tech, Wake Tech, and the North Carolina Justice Academy to facilitate the department's training needs. He developed the department's new field training program and manual, and he oversees new employee orientation to ensure new employees are ready to train when they hit the streets. Sergeant Salty is the first person to set the example for new employees and always makes himself available to cover their needs. He also rides a department motorcycle by participating in several special events, including National Night Out, Touch a Truck, and others. He partners with other local police departments, teaches motorcycle safety to civilians, and participates in the Bike Safe North Carolina program. In 2018, Sergeant Garner has contributed greatly to enhancing the overall effectiveness of the department by improving our operations, enhancing training, and enforcing the standards. He has distinguished himself through his dedication to the department and its mission. Therefore, he is awarded the Meritorious Service Medal for his work in 2018. Our next recipient is Meredith Mumford. Meredith is very deserving of recognition for exceptional services this past year. She serves this community and this organization not only in her role as the department's front receptionist, but she works in other capacities throughout the town. She does not shy away from any challenge. She welcomes the opportunity to learn new skills and apply herself to bettering any process. When asked, she jumped at the opportunity to be part of the town's revisit into a new wellness program. Not only did she become part of the team, but she became its leader and was instrumental in redeveloping the town's wellness program. She worked with other town employees gathering data and creating the program we enjoy today. Without a doubt, she is responsible for improving the overall wellness of all town employees. This is a major accomplishment and far above what is expected of someone in her role as administrative support specialist. Meredith played a tremendous role in the department's attempt this year at having a successful Christmas with a Cop program. She coordinated volunteers, helped vet potential participants, secured food donations, put together crafts for kids, and facilitated the wrapping and delivery of the gifts. This year's program would not have been as successful if not for Meredith's commitment to service. In her official role, Meredith is a pleasant face of the department. She is the first person people see when they come to the police department and is the first person people talk to when they call. She is always pleasant and constantly professional. She never loses her temper with anyone, citizen or employee. She may be shy and nervous about speaking in front of people, but she never lets that fear get in the way of accomplishing her responsibilities. I can think of few who are more deserving of recognition than Meredith for her sustained and exceptional service throughout the year. Sergeant Andy Jernigan. Sergeant Andy Jernigan served this agency honorably for 15 years from January 2003 until his retirement in December of 2018. During that time, he served in many different capacities with distinction. Most recently, he served as a training sergeant. In this role, he expertly managed all in-service training for the department. He was a lead instructor for Johnston County's CIT program and he participated in many classes at both JCC and Wake Tech. He kept meticulous and accurate records and passed every audit with flying colors. Andy enabled future people in the training sergeant role to function effectively and efficiently because of the procedures he established and set into place. Andy's performance warrants being awarded the Meritorious Service Medal for his 15 years of service to the Clayton Police Department and the town of Clayton.
Andy, don't go anywhere. So let me say a couple more words about Andy while we have his attention here. So Andy's retirement came probably long before he really expected it to, and I'm sure his decision to retire this past year was not an easy one that he took very lightly, and I'm sure that it took a heavy toll on him, as it probably does most of us. However, I think when it's your time, and it takes a strong person to admit that and to follow through with that. So I think it's very important for us to take some time out of our schedules to express to Andy how much we appreciate everything that you've done for the department and the town over your career here. Andy, there are times in a chief's tenure when there's an opportunity to trade up. Right? When someone leaves, they'll say, well, I think I can do better on that. Well, this isn't one of those times. Your departure is definitely a difficult time for us to fill your shoes and find someone as good as you. But in a minute, we're going to promote the person who's going to try to do that. So, you left this department in a good place, and I think that we can take the work that you did and make this department better in the years coming forward. So it's generally customary when a police officer retires that we award that person their badge and their duty weapon. And so I'm very appreciative of the council that they unanimously agreed to honor your service, Andy, with those items. And so it is my pleasure, as a small token of our appreciation, to present you with your duty handgun that we have in a nice display box. And so when I saw this, I thought this was a good idea, because you can take the stuff out of there and use the box later instead of for I don't know whatever you want to put in there. And then we have your badge and stuff displayed in a shadow box. So you want to open that up, and we've got the box engraved with our badge and a saying of our appreciation for Andy, and then we took his badge and nameplate and patch and put it all inside the shadow box, and I forgot the 150th coin. Well, that's the first retirement ceremony that I've done as a chief, so I hope that hope we did Andy a little bit of justice. And so, all right, we're going to transition into promotion. So our first promotion will be to an investigator. So I'll have Captain Coley come up here, and he'll introduce the new detective. But the police investigator is a position that's as old as law enforcement itself. These specially trained individuals ensure that no criminal commits a crime without being held accountable for it. Tonight, Officer Martinez joins the likes of Sherlock Holmes, Columbo, Kojak, Austin Powers, and Inspector Clouseau. Some of y'all may not know anybody who I'm talking about here, but he is Clayton Police Department's newest detective. So, Captain Coley, if you would introduce him, please.
Erick Martinez was born in Anaheim, California, and moved to Clayton with his family when he was only 9 years old. He graduated from Clayton High School in 2012. In 2015, he attended Johnson Community College and graduated from the Basic Law Enforcement Training Program. Shortly after he graduated, he joined the ranks of the Clayton Police Department. Erick has been a very productive member of the Patrol Division while serving on several different patrol squads. In 2016, he was nominated and selected by the department as the Clayton Police Officer of the Year. In 2017, he was also awarded a life-saving award by the department for his willingness in wanting to help and assist others.
Just don't go straight in. The position of sergeant is a critical position in any organization. He or she is often the first level of leadership and where the proverbial rubber meets the road. These folks often have a tough time transitioning from officers and peers into supervisors. New sergeants sometimes struggle with balancing the need to support their troops and selling what things that the command staff comes up with. It is a challenging yet rewarding position and maybe even the best position in any police department. After that, you do less and less police work after you get promoted beyond sergeant. But regardless of the difficulties, these two new sergeants are doing an exceptional job already, and we're very lucky to have them. So Captain Gerrell, if you would introduce our new sergeants.
First up, I'd like to call up Owen Phillips. Owen is a 10-year veteran of the Clayton Police Department with over 13 years in law enforcement. He graduated from Clayton High School, joined the United States Army, where he served our country for 5 years. After getting out of the Army, he completed BLET at JCC in 2006 and began his career with the Smithfield Police Department before coming to Clayton. Owen has an intermediate and advanced law enforcement certificate as well as numerous other state and local certifications. He obtained his Bachelor of Science degree in Emergency and Disaster Management from Western Carolina University, and as of this month completed his Master's degree in Human Resources from Western Carolina University as well. For the past 7 years, he has been a member of the Administrative Services Division, we like to call it ASD, serving as the community police officer for the department for the past 5 years and a traffic officer 2 years before that. He's a certified field training officer, instructor, CIT, and vet CIT trained. He has been recognized by his peers at the Clayton Police Department for Officer of the Year and the Town of Clayton's Employee of the Year. He has also started several community programs while serving as the COP officer. Most notably has been his Youth Police Academy program, where he has helped bridge the gap of communication lines between the youth and the community and the department. I recognize Officer Owen Phillips to Sergeant. Next up, Mr. Jeff Young. Jeff is a 4-year veteran of the Clayton Police Department with 8 years total in law enforcement. He graduated from Sanderson High School in Raleigh, obtained his associate's degree in criminal justice and Bachelor of Science degree in business administration from Millermont College. He completed BLET at Johnston Community College in 2010 and began his career with the Benson Police Department, where he served in patrol and later became their community police officer before joining the ranks of Clayton PD in 2014. He currently holds his intermediate law enforcement certificate and numerous other state and local certifications. He has been a proud member of the patrol division, most recently serving as the field training officer on C Squad, and he's trained a lot of the officers we've hired lately. He currently holds certifications as an advanced field training officer, general instructor, and he's the department's taser instructor as well as CIT trained. In 2012, he graduated from the leadership program at Johnston County. Jeff has been happily married for 11 years and has his 2 daughters who led us in the Pledge of Allegiance tonight. I'd like to recognize Officer Jeff Young as Sergeant Jeff Young.
You know, the process to get promoted to any one of these positions is a lengthy one, and not a decision that I take very lightly, because you know, hiring is one of the most important decisions a chief can make, as well as who am I going to promote and who are going to be the future leaders of this organization. So Detective Martinez and both sergeants went through a selection process where they competed with their peers, and they were awarded these ranks based on the merit of their performance. So very good job, and if you ask them, I'm sure they will tell you that a lot of hours go into preparing for these things, and in the end, after a selection process, there's generally only one person that's happy, and that's the person that gets promoted. But these guys are highly qualified, and I'm very happy that we were able to offer these promotions to them. So I'm going to be a little slow in advancing my slide because I didn't. The person's name is up on the next slide, and so I want to keep that little secret here for a minute. So we're going to award our last award for the evening, which is the Employee of the Year Award. And so this person every year is decided by the committee based on the meritorious service recommendations that we receive. And so they look at those over as compared to each other and pick one of those individuals to be recognized as the Employee of the Year. So this year, the committee selected Sergeant Keith Garner as Employee of the Year. Don't worry, Keith. I was just as surprised as you are, but no. But this is a major accomplishment. We have 50 employees basically at the police department, so to be chosen out of 50 people is a pretty great accomplishment. And I get to work with Keith every day. He works just a couple doors down from me, and he catches a lot of things that come out of my office, much like some other folks like Captain Herring do. But I am able to in fact, I did it today. I came to Keith and said, I need this done by the end of the year, and I can walk away from it and know that he'll get it done. And so I think you are recognized by your peers as being someone that is reliable, that they can count on to do things. And his effort with firearms training has been remarkable. And so some people ask, like, why do we spend so much time and energy on firearms training, right? That shouldn't be our focus for law enforcement, and it's not. But if you talk to somebody like Keith, and he'll tell you that when you need to have that skill, there's no prep time. Okay, it's instant, and there are incidents all over the country where officers who have survived critical incidents have relied upon their training, and sometimes they've died as a result of that training, and sometimes they've survived. And so Keith takes it very personal and works very hard to make sure that our folks, if they're ever in that type of a situation, and it's not like it hasn't happened here in Clayton before, but that those officers will have the best chance of being successful in those encounters. So Keith, I'll say I appreciate all the hard work that you do for this agency, and bringing in new folks and managing FTOs and scheduling all the training for 50 people and making sure that I get to the places I'm supposed to be when I'm supposed to be there. So I agree 100% with the committee's decision this year, and I'm happy to award you with Officer of the Year. So. I think it's very important for us as an organization to take the time to come here and recognize people for their good work, because just because there are these individuals tonight that received awards, there's great work being done every single day by a whole bunch of different people around this police department. And I don't have enough paper or frames to thank everybody for the work that they do, but we definitely want to take the time out of a year to appreciate those accomplishments that maybe go a little bit above and beyond, and that deserve some special recognition. So I want to thank every one of you tonight for coming in here and being so attentive and listening to us and taking times out of your schedule. You know, I want to commend each one of the recipients tonight for what they've accomplished over the past year. I worked very hard to keep it a secret from Meredith tonight because I don't know if I pulled it off because, I mean, she's kind of instrumental in this process. But, you know, people like that who do so much selfless work deserve some recognition tonight. So I want to thank Meredith especially for this event because that cake that you see over there and the dog treats and all that stuff, that was all Meredith. She took all that and did that, so thank you very much for getting all that done. I don't see my wife. She ran out of here, but Jason was very pointed in thanking her for putting up with me and all the sacrifices she has to make. So you can imagine that's a pretty daunting challenge. So, but thank you all for coming out here tonight. Council, I really appreciate it. Adam, thank you for your support. It's important that we do this, but the council, they don't have to come here. They come here because they want to. And Bobby, I told him I appreciate him coming here, and he said, you know what, I want to be here. So we very much appreciate y'all's support in allowing us to do what we do. So last thing, before we adjourn here and have some refreshments, I'd ask that every sworn officer in the room stand and join me, raise your right hand and join me in reciting the law enforcement oath of honor. And if you don't have it memorized, hopefully your eyes can still see the screen. So, on my honor, I will never betray my integrity, my character, or the public trust. I will always have the courage to hold myself and others accountable for our actions. I will always maintain the highest ethical standards and uphold the values of my community and the agency I serve. That's a pledge that goes without saying every day, but sometimes it's good to refresh that and remind yourself of what we come here to do every day. So thank you all again.